All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the episode 2 of the Siege Spirit podcast. This is brand new, so make sure you guys are subscribed. I'm here with a special guest today. If you guys have not already seen the first episode with Garfield as Doc, you should check that one out. I think it was really good stuff said in there. But I'm here with Royal Penguin, who is a content creator. You probably seen him on Twitter, YouTube, any all that kind of stuff. He has a YouTube channel of over 2,000 subs, of 5,000 followers on YouTube. Oh wait, what the fuck? Oh wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, a Twitch page of almost 2,000 followers, and an Instagram page of used to have almost 24,000 followers. So he's been in the scene since the day one of Siege. He's making great content, and he is very unique because he uses a controller on PC. So he's out here destroying. People can play on mouse and keyboard when this guy's slamming everybody with the controller and PC. So definitely no excuses. How are you feeling today, Penguin?
I'm good. I'm just chilling, honestly.
Nice.
Playing.
So how's the rank games been? Have you hit diamond this season already?
No, it was rough. I was playing on my main account, and I made a very bad decision playing with certain people, and it went downhill, and then I ended up losing like 500 MMR from rollback in total. I don't know who. But somebody's cheating. So then that account literally went from almost plat 2 to then gold 1, and I was like, no, I'm not playing on this account. I literally now have 2 accounts that I solo queued that are in plat 2 now. And I'm like, all right, I'm working on these accounts. I'm not playing on my main account, bro. I can't.
Wow, 500 elo.
Yeah.
Lost.
And it was like in one day, because I signed on, I lost 130, and then I lost a game, and then I got out of that game, and then I lost another 249, and I was like, bro, what? And I don't know, me and my whole squad lost, even Garfield and a couple of my other friends, we all lost a bunch of elo. Crazy. But I'm only in plat 2 right now.
That's good.
I need to get on the grind.
You already, you should know that you're a really good player. How long have you been playing Siege for?
I've been playing since the beta.
Wow, this guy's been on controller since day one for 3 to 4 years now. I'm pretty sure everyone that has. I don't think you're the only person that I know that stuck with controller since everybody says mouse and keyboard is a lot easier, better, but you're proving that controller, it can be just as good as long as you just put the work in and all that.
Yeah, especially on PC, because on PC it's so different from console. I'm 10 times better on PC because when you use higher FOV and higher frames,
definitely
creates less recoil too. Crazy. I compared both of them, and it was just a huge difference.
So what kind of brought you to Siege? What made you want to play this game more?
I always played Call of Duty. I've been playing Call of Duty since I was 9 or 10, and I've been playing it for now 10 years now. I kind of always liked the competitive style of game. And when I first started playing Siege, I was so bad. I remember if I look at my old clips, I was an actual bot. I have a beta clip actually. It's pretty funny. I still have the beta clip, and it was so gross. I was like, bro, what was I doing? I mean, nobody really knew what they were doing in beta, but it was so bad. But I just liked generally how hard it was, and kind of how rewarding it was. Because I like games like that, games where I feel if I put in time, I'll be better than anybody else. So I like those type of games. So that's what kind of keeps bringing me back to it.
And you came from Xbox, right?
Yeah, I play PS4 too, but mainly Xbox.
Nice. So what would you say is the main difference between console and PC? Either that's mechanical wise, or maybe this the whole game. Do you think the game is played differently on console than it is PC?
I feel on console the strats can generally be the same, because the whole reason I even went to PC with a controller was because I had so many people telling me oh, if you came to PC you'd be in copper, consoles silver, that all that stuff, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go to PC because I'm using a controller and get diamonds. So I did that, and from doing that I learned PC is definitely harder, but it's really different in the way of on console you have to kind of take into the fact that you have recoil, and you have to worry about recoil and aim and other stuff. But when you come to PC, everybody already has good aim. You go versus golds and literally you just get slammed if they're using mouse keyboard, obviously, because their aim is just so much better. But where on console it's you can kind of miss a couple shots because most of the people are on controller. Most people use MK too. Yeah, I can't even say most. Most people actually use MK. But either way, on console it's there's more room for error. To where on PC you have to be precise and make sure you're always hitting your shots. Otherwise you're gonna pay for it. Bad.
Definitely. People on PC kind of no joke. There's a lot of wiggle room on console, I feel but on PC maybe people just have that instant headshot lock on is
exactly
actually nuts. What do you think about people who what would you say to people that think oh, console diamond is equivalent to a PC gold, max. What, like, people who actually think that's true, what would you say to those kind of people?
I tell them, here, go to type in my name on YouTube and look at my pinned video, and then you'll clearly see that that's wrong. No, like, I don't know. The whole reason why I actually made a video on it, pretty much explaining it. Like, I feel like PC is definitely harder, but you can adapt to it if you're like a Plat 3 player. Like a Plat 3 console player can be Plat 3 on PC, but it's just you have to kind of adapt because it's a lot more of an aggressive type play style. I feel because like everyone's aim is really good, so everyone's like
The movement's a lot easier.
yeah,
on
the
PC too.
movement it's so much different too. Yeah, I feel like if you can adapt to it, you can easily beat whatever rank you were on console. I mean, besides champ, I feel like diamond's kind of the same, but when it comes to champ, you have like cheaters, pros, and stuff like that. So once you get into that champ level, it's like you may not be champ on like PC right away. I mean, unless you look at other people, like I know a couple people that went from console and now are champ. So it really just depends if you can adapt. But generally, you always keep the same game sense because like if you think about it, console is really just PC strats as well, or like pro league strats as well. So like when you switch, you still have that same game sense.
Yeah,
I feel a lot of people don't realize that. So like everyone just puts down on console, but I feel like console's really not that bad. It's still not nearly. I still think PC is better, but like I just think like that like whole like PC like gold is like copper like on Xbox, like all that stuff just fake, just egos.
Yeah, definitely. People just think it's like some sort of mechanical equivalent to PC and console. I don't know what they think, but yeah. So like, what kind of your thoughts on this current state of Siege? People they call it the utility meta, the 20-second meta. So like, what are your thoughts? Do you like this meta personally, or would you rather?
It's terrible, because everyone just either like bans Thatcher for some reason, and then it's just it's horrible because then you have there's so many traps. It's just like literally X anybody in the community. It's terrible. I think the game is an amazing game, one of my favorite games ever. But there's just the meta it's in right now is just so gross. Like I
What kind of operator do you think would help figure out this meta?
Well, I feel like on defense there's way too many traps. So something to help with that, maybe like use an ability to where like you can kind of like run through something and not get attacked by any traps. Kind of like how like Yana's clone doesn't get attacked by any traps. Like only if like maybe you can just activate that on yourself. Maybe like I don't know. Like I think they should just need to like either like take away some traps, nerf some traps. Like don't allow them to have as many. Like it's just way too many. Like way too many.
Do you think it'd be a good idea to kind of like maybe on attack and defense, but I think on defense maybe every operator should get like half of their utility. Like you know how Goyle and like Malusi, all those kind of operators, they usually start out with like, all right, 3 of this utility, 3 of that utility, but now they nerf it down. So do you think every operator like Maestro, obviously operators like Wamai will only have like projectiles, but like Maestro, Malusi, and Goyle, do you think they should only have one ability, like to act more of a special bit, like a 1 Goyle shield, 1 Malusi?
Yeah, I feel what they could do is kind of how they have with Legion, how his kind of builds up as the round goes on, and then maybe if they started off with 1 or 2, maybe like Jaeger and like them, like maybe 2 for them, obviously, because like there's like still a lot of flashes and grenades and stuff you need to worry about. But like I feel like they could like give them 1 Goyle shield, and as the round progresses, then you get a second one, because it still could be risky to go put that second one down. But if you want to, you can put it down, so that way it's not just like a cluster of all like just like a bunch of defensive gadgets at once.
So what kind of operators do you usually main in this game?
I use a couple. I feel like I like to use IQ, which I actually like the commando. I do not use. I don't know why I can't use the GA. Like I can,
The
but like
GA,
I'm just so much better with the commando. I don't know why. Like I feel so much more
personally, I think I'm honestly like, since I play a lot of like thermite and like I personally like vertical grip over angle grip on most of my weapons, even if it's like the vigil or any of that kind of stuff, like thermite. Like I feel like the commando just has more of a, like I'm so much used to that slower pattern, but the GA is basically the F2. So
yeah,
I'm just not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like IQ. I feel like I use IQ buck a lot on attack. I generally like stick to a couple, and maybe Habana too. Like I if I check my stats, I have like it was like 48 hours with like IQ, and then like 12 with buck. Like it was a very significant. Like I just really made IQ, and that's like unless people need me to go anybody, because then I can go really anybody. I kind of like learned to like over the years play whatever we need. Like if I want to like frag out and I want to do my best, I'll take IQ commando. And then on defense, I feel like it's Vigil and Jaeger. Those are my 2 best operators that I like to play. And then if I'm playing bad though, and I notice that, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna anchor. I'll pick like a Doc or a Legion.
Yeah, what do you think about that kind of stuff? People will say they love to, frag out. They like to get a lot of kills. Maybe sometimes they in their head they think that, okay, I remember that one rank game where I went off with Jaeger, so I'm just gonna keep playing Jaeger on. And then when they have a bad game, they just like they think something was going wrong, but they don't, they don't anchor down in sight. They don't change the rules. What would you say to? What are your thoughts on that kind of stuff? When how people should recognize when they should really change up their playstyle, kind of like
Yeah,
slump reasons.
yeah, exactly. I feel like even myself, I was in like a slump for a little bit. I'm finally out of it now, but like I feel like the best way to like kind of justify if you're doing bad, just completely do the opposite of what you're doing. Like if you're doing nothing and you're like anchoring, try roaming. If you're literally roaming and you're getting like slammed every time, just go anchor, take like an ACOG or like Legion or somebody. Just you have to. I feel like the only way to get out of the slump is change what you're doing, because otherwise, if you keep doing the same thing, it's not just gonna magically change. You need to actually change it yourself.
That's true. Yes. So
Like
like,
it's really just change yourself.
what do you think is like what do you think makes a good player in Rainbow Six?
Uh, somebody who is not kill hungry, somebody who
Mhm.
has good communication and generally knows the maps, callouts. Somebody who could really just play anybody that they feel like. I mean, like you could be a great player and you could have like be an Ash main, of course, and only play Ash. But I feel like the best way to be a better player is kind of like learning from your mistakes and people who play a lot. Because like the only way that I got better was being killed over and over again and losing over and over again and keep playing and playing, because like when you keep dying and you keep making those mistakes, you then realize like if you get killed from a certain angle, you'll check that the next time, and that the only way that you can learn that is really if you get killed by it. So you have to be a person that plays it a lot, because you can't just casually play it and be good. You need to have like a lot of time for the game to be good.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think a lot of people don't get that message to be like, okay, how do I do this faster? What are your tips on this? Well, all that kind of stuff. But they really fly over their head that it just takes a lot of time. They'd be like, I've been playing this game since I like they say they're maybe like a level 120, right? And they're expecting like, why? How come I like come on, you
Yeah,
gotta put the hours in. I gotta play the game
exactly.
more. They'd be like, man, I hate losing all these games, but they hate losing so much that they're so like that's why they don't play the game that much. And then they expect to have all this fast way of improving, how to get better aim, how do I do this better. You just got to play the game a lot. People like, oh wait, no, that takes too long, I want something more like quick and efficient.
Yeah,
But people,
exactly.
they need to understand that this game, especially in Siege, when there's so many, like anything can happen. Like you could get spawn killed the first second of the round, or you could be alive to the end of the round, and you could change, like kill anybody, then that person that they killed could have prevented that death. It's just like so many things happen. You just gotta play the games a lot, and that's why it just takes a lot of hours, which I think people get
Exactly.
wrong.
Like the best thing that I did was to get better was because like I was like, all right, well I want to improve, but like I don't feel like detrimenting my stats in my main account. I mean, stats don't really matter, but
Hmm.
I don't want to like derank because I'm an idiot and just want to play to play. So like what I did was I have like an alt account, so that way I can like if I'm not playing with my friends and I just want to solo queue and I don't feel like I believe in my teammates or I just want to play to get better, I'll go on that account and just play literally like until like 7 in the morning, like every day. Just hop on and play, like just to not even to worry about that rank, but just to worry about dying from something and losing and try and lose to see what I can improve on. So that way when I go back on my main account and play with like my team or my friends, I'm like way better. If like for the people that like are like, oh, I don't want to lose my rank, just make another account and just improve on that account too. Like if you're
Hmm.
that type of person, I'm going to
Yeah,
not care anymore, but
definitely. Hmm.
it's the best way to improve on.
Yeah, and speaking of kind of like that improvement, people usually ask me a lot, and I want to hear your opinions on this too. But when they say like solo queuing, like they always everyone complains about solo queuing. Solo queuing is just, in my opinion, is really inconsistent. But what do you think do you think solo queue is a good way of getting better at the game?
I think it helps on the side of learning like certain angles. You're gonna like learn certain angles, but it doesn't really help on the side of improving on team, which the game
Hmm.
is very based on a team. Like recently, I've been solo queuing like a lot, and like it's actually been pretty well. Like I've literally solo queued on both accounts now to Plat 2. I'm like, wow, what am I doing? Like, how am I solo queuing and actually winning? I'm very shocked because usually when I solo queue, I lose. But like
Hmm.
something that it's helped me a lot with is learning and testing out certain things when you solo queue. I feel like when you solo queue, it's a whole different aspect because you're not really holding a certain angle for somebody. You're not really like playing as a team. You're kind of like going in there as if like you're gonna kill everybody or you need to try and kill everybody. So I feel like it could definitely help you with the potential of learning new stuff, but it doesn't really help with the potential of playing as a team
Hmm.
with call
For
outs and
sure.
stuff like that.
And all that kind of stuff. What would you say to someone that What are your thoughts on if there's a plat 3 person out there, they want to get better, but they complain about solo queuing and they feel like they have no teammates. What are you in your words, what is your ideas on finding stacks and just building your name out there, and how should you find more teammates in Siege to avoid solo queuing?
I feel like the best way to find teammates, I mean, I've had a lot of people ask me that too, and I feel like I've kind of always just had friends to play with, and the way I've learned I became friends with people is on Twitter. I've like been like living on Twitter pretty much recently, just interacting with everybody and kind of like getting my name out there. That's one way you eventually like wind up playing with people as you kind of interact with more people. Go on the Instagram, start posting your own clips, following people, become friends with them, and eventually you can meet up with them. But if you don't do that, you can also use LFG, which I tell a lot of people too. They have like that in the Discord. Put like like plat 3s only, plat 2s only, and you'll obviously find people. Like on Xbox, they have the Xbox Club, and I use that all the time. Like if I didn't have anybody, I would just like put in the description like plat 1 diamond only, or like whatever I wanted to put in there, so I'd only be with good people. That's what I did.
Yeah,
Get better.
I think I did that a lot on console as well, and I feel like it's super underrated just because how fast you can find a game, and then you actually filter out the players, finding, okay, I want this certain requirement, and they come to you.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
think
you
that's
don't
a
have to
really
worry about
great
that.
feature on console that is super underrated. It's kind of like the R6 Discord for Siege, but
Mhm.
like personally, I think the R6 Discord is a great place. I personally started there my first 3 months, I think, on Siege, just because nobody knew me. I knew nobody, and I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. They feel like they know nobody and nobody knows them, but they expect people to pick them up. Like, be like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna wait for this good godly 4 stack to find me, But I think that's what a lot of people get wrong, is they actually need to put themselves out there, and it's gonna take a lot of time to find those good teammates. Like, you're not gonna find the same stack that you are in plat 3. You're not gonna be getting diamond with those guys. Like, those guys are not gonna be the same
Yeah.
people you play
No.
with,
Yeah.
especially online. I think really choosing the better option is always the better option, of
Mhm.
picking a team. Like, if I was in a group of my friends who are, okay at the game, but recently there's this other dude that has another stack that I know who's good, and he has other good or better players with him. I recommend to everybody to join that better stack, because the more you filter out the good and bad people, like, I'm not saying people always get this wrong, that they think, okay, if I want to get better at this game, I have to cut off all my relationships with my friends. But like, I don't think that's not the case, because
No.
at the end of the day, it is a game, and you have to find people who can play the game correctly.
Yeah.
You know, it's always good to have people that you can work well with and have that good synergy across with the different people. But once you're not able to build that chemistry, also at the end of the day, you can only be so like positive vibe until you actually shoot back and all that kind of stuff. So I
Yeah.
think he will definitely need to look at that.
Yeah, I feel like that's another thing that I think is really good for having a backup account. Is I have a lot of IRL friends that play this game, and like also people that are like not really as good. So like
Mhm.
I just go on that account and just play with them, mess around. Like I feel like that helps a lot too. If you're ever like in that situation of like, oh, I want to play with my friends, but I don't want to play, like they suck. Just make another account. Honestly, that's what I did. I made another account and just play with like people that really aren't as good, or on an account that I don't care about. So that way
Mhm.
I could still like not be like mean to people. Not that it's mean to people to say that, because like rank, I feel like it's definitely up there with like friendship as well. So it's kind of like you have to balance it out.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And another thing is kind of like the whole situation, the whole Siege community, and all that kind of stuff. How people like go off about each other on, the toxic beef on Twitter, all that kind of stuff. So what do you think, especially in game chat as well, and just like, what do you think is like a good difference between like friendly banter and like people who take it personally? Like in game chat, like
Yeah.
see people say, "Oh, why are you hiding in the corner, you idiot?" And those people get mad. It's just like, what do you think could really help change how people play with each other and interact?
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like when it comes to like being toxic, like it's really just like if you can take it or not. Like I mean, like I'm generally not toxic to people I don't know.
Hmm.
So like I'm not gonna like, because I actually don't want to start anything that I feel like it's just pointless. Like I'm not gonna just say to some random kid like, "What are you doing, you moron?" Like, and just like go off on him, like, unless like he really does something stupid. But like I feel like the best way to deal with it is kind of like not really care what people think, and like people are gonna be toxic in this game, especially in a game like this where like every small like movement,
Every small
yeah,
mistake will
affect
happen.
everything. Yeah. So like I'm toxic to my friends, but all is jokes. But when it comes to like random people, it's like you kind of like have to realize like they don't care. Like the people are just gonna be
Hmm.
toxic whether you like it or not. And you just got to ignore it and not care. especially in a game like this. Like I said, like people get mad at
Definitely.
the smallest things.
Yeah, I think especially when a lot of this game is FPS, so like Overwatch, freaking Counter Strike, and Call of Duty. Especially Overwatch and Call of Duty, there's like respawns, right? And
Hmm.
so what do you think is pretty unique that makes Siege how it is, different compared to a COD player? Like if a COD player was coming in to play Siege, what would your tips be to him?
Uh, so I mean I was like when it comes to COD, like I played COD competitively for like and like game battles and all that stuff and like on like teams
Hmm.
and like I really like this game. But the thing that like kind of attracted me towards Siege as opposed to COD is I feel like a COD is at some point a skill gap to where at Siege it's constantly changing and there's always new stuff to learn. Like no matter what, like I go on COD and like I don't really learn anything new. I kind of just warm up and get better. When it
Hmm.
comes to like Siege, like every day I feel like I'm learning something, and there's always like a way to outplay the enemy. Like in this game, like you can literally shoot through walls, shoot through little bullet holes, like make holes above people. It's like it's so much more thinking. That's why I think it's the most competitive game out there at all, like ever. Just because it's just like such a there's like so many different possibilities, and everything has to line up perfectly. Otherwise, it can completely fall on like the other things where you kind of just like pick yourself
Hmm.
back up. With this game, it's like everything has to align perfectly. Otherwise, when there is a hole, like the defenders are just gonna take care of that and just come in and like mess up everything.
Yeah, I think you just explained that extremely great. Definitely they got to get used to not having your, especially I feel like even if they do manage their aim carries over to
Hmm.
Siege, but I think after Plat, maybe like a rank after wherever they're in right now, their mistakes now will not slip away in a higher
Yeah,
rank, and then they get disappointed and they wonder why they're doing bad. Is because they have to really, this is approving at the end of the day. They have to play the game a lot and then be like, okay, maybe how is this pro player literally so much better than me, blah blah blah. But like you gotta look at, they probably went through all the mistakes that you did, but they just kept
yeah,
going and kept playing a lot more than they have, and this people need to realize that as well.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and so wrapping up for the last question I like to do on this podcast is I just got, for now, the golden question. Um, what are your thoughts on just overall success in Siege? How do people can find success in Siege and us overall life? How can they can how do you think people should look at that?
I feel like Siege is a very like is like kind of like perfect for the question. Like when it comes to Siege, like the only way you get better in it is if you watch how better people are better than you, like better people, and watch how you can incorporate that into your gameplay and watch how what they do, and kind of like you have to really make mistakes to get better and to learn from them. Kind of like a whole thing with life. Like in life, like the only way that you're gonna get better at it is if you put in the work more than people, put in the effort more than people, and just like Siege, you're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna have to keep making mistakes in order to eventually be a better person because you have to learn from different things that you do. So I feel like with Siege for success, it's all about just putting in the time, putting in the effort, not giving up on it, learning from your mistakes, which is like exactly like life. You got to just put in the time, put in the effort to succeed in anything, and just
Hmm.
like believe that you're better than everybody, and just make sure that you just keep running with it, keep putting the time.
That's definitely really really well explained. Yeah, I think you said everything is good, and I really like how you said earlier that every little thing can happen in Siege, and people just gotta learn how to learn from that, do that next time. And definitely this game is, I feel like this game has built me the mindset I have now. It's just like, like I said, Call of Duty, stuff goes away, you have a respawn, you can do it again, but it doesn't really force you to really recognize your mistakes. And
Yeah,
the fact that this game is so endless, kind of like our lives, like you don't know what's gonna happen next. You don't know when a new opera is gonna come out, when a new a bug, you're gonna meet different people. I feel like definitely you gotta invest good energy into a lot of other stuff as well. So Penguin,
yeah,
I appreciate you for taking the time out of your day and night to do this podcast with me. So
no
again,
problem.
I will
Thank
leave
you.
Penguin's social handles all in the description below. He streams on Twitch, makes great Instagram, YouTube content, and follow him on Twitter as well. So let me know who we should have on the podcast next time. And any last words you want to say to your fans, Penguin?
Just thank you for the support and subscribe to Atheno.
All right, boys. So I'm going to end the podcast right here. I appreciate you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next video.